International Specialized Exhibition Expo 2017 is preceded by lots of different actions. Sometimes they seem to be very original and thereby cause double interest. For example, a 72-year-old citizen of Kazakhstan, Sapar Iskakov, on the eve of the Expo, went to Great Trip, during which he will hold a campaign in support of the upcoming international exhibition.
Я сам инженер, строитель по профессии. Экспо – это, можно сказать, удача, которая может 10 лет, 50 лет один раз. А если считать, что наше государство только молодое,
I am myself a civil engineer by profession. Expo may be said luck that may happen once in 10 years or in 50 years, and if we assume that our state is young, such luck there can happen only once in 50 years. If we could win the opportunity to host such an international technical exhibition, an industrial exhibition Expo that is called Future Energy, we should take advantage of this moment, because next time it is possible that we will not have such a chance. That is why everybody should just take an active part, considering that currently economic situation is very difficult and not every state is able to afford to hold an exhibition of such scale and cover such expenses, and Kazakhstan took up the Expo.
Тяжелое экономическое положение, и не каждое государство сможет провести такую выставку и произвести такие затраты, а вот Казахстан взялся. Поэтому я в январе поехал в кругосветку со съемочной группой.
Sapar Iskakov, known Kazakhstani traveler. In May 2014, he returned from one of his journeys. It was a cruise around the world on transatlantic liner Queen Elizabeth II. The trip lasted 4 months. The route passed through 5 continents and 26 countries. And at each of these places, traveler Sapar Iskakov also held actions in support of the forthcoming Kazakhstan World Expo 2017. Patriotic citizen of Kazakhstan met with officials and community leaders to tell about landmark event for Kazakhstan. According to Sapar, it was not easy to arrange this journey. Composition was formed long before the journey. It was necessary to apply a year ahead of the journey and to be selected. In addition, this project was quite expensive. According to Traveler, mission was not easy. During 4 months of the journey around the world, there were dozens of presentations and conferences, and everywhere participants of the journey around the world shared information about the country, handed out souvenirs and collected signatures. Flag of Expo with hundreds of wishes from around the world returned back to the organizing committee of Expo in Astana. And Sapar, on his return from the trip, shared his plans and told that he was preparing to visit a number of countries so that not the whole world but bigger part of the world could learn about world prestigious exhibition. He was true to his word by going to the next expedition. Start took place in December 25, 2014, and Traveler plans to finish his trip in February. During this time, he intends to visit 9 countries.
Первый – это Саудовская Аравия, Оман, это рядом, это тоже богатое арабское государство. Оттуда мы едем на Сейшельские острова, там садимся на...
First is Saudi Arabia. Oman, it is close to us and is also a rich Arab state. From there we will go to Seychelles. There we will move on ship and we will have a small cruise on Indian Ocean. We will visit Mauritius, Madagascar and Maldives. Then we will visit Sri Lanka and India, and from there we will return back.
Шри-Ланку и Индию. И оттуда возвращаемся. Первый у нас в арабских странах.
Seychelles, Mauritius and Madagascar, there also will be meetings. But there is no our embassy, there is no our general consulate. We will have to organize such meetings there by ourselves, on ship, at enterprises, wherever we can manage to hold such meetings, in hotels. Then we will go to Maldives, Sri Lanka, India. Well, we will have a big meeting there in India with Indian public media, business representatives. Indian representatives were planning to build a large pavilion, so there will be a lot of important meetings.
Встреча будет у нас в Омане, город Маскат, это столица. Там тоже вот такая вот встреча. Значит, что там будет? Там будет демонстрироваться, видеофильмы о Казахстане, о экономике, о промышленности, об Экспо, о ходе его строительства, Будет показан, значит, макеты, проекты.
There will be shown videos about Kazakhstan, about economy and industry, about construction progress of EXPO, and there will be shown construction project layout of EXPO, how it will look like. So I'm going to tell about the subject, future energy. They have an opportunity to come to our country with investments or visit our country as tourists or as business representatives to sign some contracts, let us say on procurement of equipment, techniques on renewable energy technologies.
Либо приехать как представитель бизнеса, подписать какие-то контракты по, допустим, ну, по закупке оборудования, техники, вот, по технологии возобновляемой энергии.
Traveler intends to pay particular attention to the subject of the upcoming international specialized exhibition, Future Energy. Sapar, that visit many countries, is confident that these questions are very relevant today.
Есть государства, где развита вот эта вот технология возобновляемой энергии. Ну, вот я где-то года два тому назад проехал по Германии.
There are states where these renewable energy technologies are already developed. 2 years ago, I traveled to Germany, and everywhere on roofs of cottages and factories, there were solar panels that provide energy for hot water and electricity. I saw big fields and solar panels that provide power to plants and factories. I've seen it also in Holland. For example, in Europe, there are many wind farms.
Солнечные батареи, которые дают энергию на заводы, фабрики. В Голландии я видел, в Европе, допустим, очень много ветряных электростанций.
At the International Specialized Exhibition in Astana, attention mainly will be paid to development of sustainable energy sources and energy efficiency in pro-ecological context. In this sense, EXPO 2017 continues trend that was taken during the last 10 years to devote world exhibitions to subject of environmental protection.
Я бы оставил бы эту тему, потому что эта тема очень и очень актуальная. Я был на Южном полюсе, был на Северном полюсе. И вы прямо ощущаете, насколько влияет человеческая деятельность на экологию в целом.
This subject is very important. I have been on South Pole and on North Pole, and you just feel how human activity affects ecology of the planet as a whole. Ecology is very fragile. When I was on North Pole, when you see that there is little that remained, ice for example,
мы шли где-то, может, 40-50 дней. В остальное время у нас были стоянки. Она очень небольшая. Экология очень хрупкая. Когда я был на Северном полюсе, когда вы видите, что там уже мало что осталось льдов, раньше вот мы читали во времена челюскинцев, что там были...
Earlier, when we read about North Pole in the days of Chelyuskins, there was 5-meter thick ice. It was impossible to break it. But now icebreaker moves quietly and there is no solid ice anymore. What do you think it means?
Вода, лед, там нет сплошного льда уже. Понимаете? Вот это о чем говорит? Это очень и очень влияет на экологию.
There is a big influence on environment. When we were on South Pole, do you know that there is ozone hole which moves in the direction of New Zealand? So this year, when we were in New Zealand, many people are trying to spend less time in the sun to avoid taking sun bath, because they know that radiation can kill you.
Мало загорать, потому что знаешь, что там радиация может вас убить.
Sapar Iskakov is also going to tell about all this during his travels, which will last 45 days. He will meet with representatives of embassies, international and public organizations, and he will demonstrate presentations and hold conferences. The trip is organized to raise awareness of Kazakhstan on international arena, attracting investors and tourists, as well as to inform a wider audience on holding of EXPO 2017 in Kazakhstan. Experienced traveler Sapar Iskakov, earlier in international expedition, was the first that planted the flag of Kazakhstan on South and North Poles, and took also flag of Kazakhstan in cabin of combat fighter MiG-29, when he was performing a flight in stratosphere at an altitude of 22,000 meters. His name is even in Kazakh Guinness Book of Records, as a tourist who visited 100 countries.